What's going on? Welcome to episode 6 of the Success Series. It's your boy Chris. If you're new to the series or you're new to the channel, welcome. And thank you for being here. If you're not new, welcome. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back, brother. On that note, we're going to get started. And today's episode, as you saw in the thumbnail and in the title, is called Intention. What does that mean? Let's get right into it. But before we do that, don't forget to hit the like button, comment and subscribe, share with your friends and your family, anyone that you think that will need this episode or any of the previous ones or future ones. Peace. Episode 6. Episode 6 is on intention. What do I mean by intention? Do I mean what are your intentions when you're doing something? Maybe, but not really, no. When I say intention, I mean the effort that you're putting into something. So a perfect example that I can give you, because I'm in my gym clothes, so it just came to mind, was going to the gym. I know a lot of people go to the gym, but they don't get the results that they want. Now, it could be from multiple things. It could just be from lack of knowledge as to what to do properly, or lack of properly eating, because eating is like 70% of working out, and you're not going to see results if you're not eating properly. And when I say eating properly, I mean like 100% of the time, especially when it comes to weight loss. You can't be having like cheat meals or like rewarding yourself in the first few weeks or the first like month or two, in my opinion. I think you need to like, way off topic. When I say intention, I mean the effort that you're putting into something. So in the gym, are you showing up at the gym and just going through the motions, and you're just smashing out bench press and you're listening to your music, or distracted by your music or the podcast on? And if you're doing arms, or you're just doing the curls, you're just doing the motions to get in and out and be able to say in your head that you did it, instead of actually putting intention behind it. So intention would be going there and it's chest day. So like when you're doing chest, you're really focusing on activating all the muscles that need to be activated for chest and for bench press, right? And making sure that your body, all your energy is focused on those muscles. It's not focused on what you have to do in 10 minutes from now or in an hour from now, or what you forgot to do, or whether you forgot to lock your door, or whatever the case is. You have to put complete and utter intention into everything that you're doing to be able to get the maximum out of it. When you're sitting in front of the charts, are you just sitting there staring at the charts and just drawing a whole bunch of lines, or are you putting an intention to learn something new, to see something that you didn't maybe see earlier, to figure out why you took that loss in that trade, to figure out why you missed that trade, to figure out why exactly your trade hit take profit, even though your analysis showed it was going to and your trade did hit take profit? Are you putting in the intention to better yourself and to learn on a deeper level maybe why your trade went the way it did? When you're meditating, are you sitting down on the mat or in your pillow or wherever you decide to meditate, and are you just meditating for the sake of meditating? You're not meditating to actually relax or to understand yourself on a deeper level, or to disconnect from this reality and be able to connect and reach something further than here. Or are you just doing it because you want to be able to write on your checklist or your to-do list today that you meditated for 10 minutes or for half an hour? You can sit there for an hour, and if you're not meditating with intention, it doesn't really matter, right? Like if you're just sitting there and you're counting down the seconds until you're done, you're saying, wow, I can't wait. Like when I meditate, I'm excited to meditate. That is my time to myself, away from everything else in this world, everything else in this dimension, everything else in this reality. It's my time away from everything. So I just enjoy it. And whether it's 10 minutes or half an hour or a 45-minute meditation or an hour meditation, I just sit there and I enjoy it, and I give it all of my intention. I put in all the intention that I can to tap into something new, maybe to learn something new about myself or my past, or whatever the case is, or triggers, or anything that I want to learn about. I always give 100%. I always put in 100% intention that I can. When you're reading a book, are you reading a book just to say that you read a book, and again, you mark it off your to-do list, or you mark it off your checklist for the day, or whatever the case is, and you're scrolling through the book and you're trying to power read and read as many pages as possible? Or are you actually sitting there and absorbing all the information that's being given to you, all the knowledge that's being given to you in that book? Are you going back if you misread something, or if you didn't understand something? Are you going back and rereading it 2 or 3 times or if there's a word that you don't understand or a word you don't know the definition of or the meaning of, are you going and researching that word to figure out exactly what that sentence means before you continue on? Because if you're reading something and you're not giving it 100% and you're not understanding everything that you're reading, but you're continuing on, then you're really just doing yourself an injustice, because you don't really understand what was just said. You won't have a proper understanding. So if you're not going to give it 100%, you might as well just put the book down and just lie to yourself that you read the book, because that's realistically the same thing as not doing it with intention. You might as well mark off your to-do list that you meditated today if you're not going to do it with intention and do it with a purpose to meet yourself on a deeper level and understand yourself further and be able to even if it's for stress relief and nothing else. You don't even care to understand anything else that's going on around you. You just want to use meditation for stress relief. Are you sitting down and are you just thinking about everything you need to do after you meditate, or are you being present? And yes, you're still going to have thoughts, and yes, you're still going to get distracted when you meditate. There's a difference between infatuating on thoughts and observing them and letting them go. I've spoken about it in the past. Observing them and letting them go. Observing them and letting them go. The only person that can really tell you if you're doing things with intention or not is you. You have to actually sit there and like think about it. Like when I worked out today and I first started my workout, I wasn't fully present. I was a little bit distracted. I wasn't giving it 150%. So I redid whatever workouts I had already done and I continued forward from there. I like to do things, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I do this with every single thing, because majority of the things I don't start that task with intention to give it 100%, but I always end it with that. I always try to end it with that, and I always try to correct myself close to the start of whatever I'm doing and say, well, like, what are you doing right now? You're here, you're spending your time doing this. You're gonna be here for the next hour, or whether it's meditating or working out or reading a book, you're gonna be here for the next however set time that you've set, unless you just cheat yourself and you get up and stop early. But if you're planning on being there and doing that thing for that certain amount of time, give it 150%, put all the distractions away, clear your mind, get us focused on, if it's a workout, get us focused on that muscle group and that exact part of your body as much as possible, and put all of your energy into that part of your body, whether it's legs, arms, back, anything that you're doing. When you're meditating, put all your focus and all your energy into making sure your posture is fine, making sure that you're breathing properly and you're keeping an eye on your breath and you're staying in touch with yourself and you're not falling asleep and this, that, and the other, and your phone is on silent. When you're reading a book, make sure that your phone is on silent and you have maybe something to guide you. Like when I read, I like to use a pen or a bookmark to know exactly what word I'm on, because I think it just helps me process it better. I don't lose the sentence that I'm on, and I also am able to read and process things a little bit faster. So instead of reading like a turtle, I can read a little bit faster. And again, if I don't understand something, I will go back a page, I will go back a paragraph, I'll go back a sentence, whatever I have to do to understand what I just read. Because if I'm not understanding what I'm reading, I'm not doing myself any good. If anything, I'm just wasting my own time, right? So I might as well give it 100%. I might as well do it with intention. I might as well meditate with intention and try to tap into things that I haven't tapped in before while I was meditating. When I work out, I try to go a little bit deeper and push myself a little bit harder and focus just a little bit more on that muscle group. When I go out on a run, I'm focused on my breathing. I'm focused on not letting myself burn out because I'm breathing too hard, or I'm trying to catch my breath, or whatever the case is, or I start running too fast because I want it to be done quicker. Instead, I just focus on what I'm doing in that exact moment. I give it 150%. With the charts, if I'm not feeling it, I just don't get on the computer. I've learned too well to just not trade just to trade. I either trade because in that moment I want to and I see a setup that I like, or I'll just sit there and watch it and see what's going on CNBC, or I read articles, or I do something. But anything that I do, I like giving it the absolute most that I can, because I feel like if you're giving anything less than 110%, you're just cheating yourself out of the opportunity to be doing as good as you can. Not only that, you're cheating yourself out of the time that you're never going to be able to get back, because that hour or half an hour, 15 minutes or 10 minutes of whatever that task is that you're wasting that time, not giving it 150%, you can't get that time back, right? So I just think that people need to focus less on doing so many things at once or doing so many things in a day, and focus more on doing those things with the fullest of intention that they can, with 150%, with being present every second that they can, giving all the energy, time, and focus that they can while they're doing that task. Because then when you're not doing that task, you want to go sit on the sofa and watch TV, you'll be able to sit there and justify in your head, like, you know what, I sat there and I meditated for 10 minutes today and I read, even if you only read 10 pages, I remember every single thing that I read on those pages. The charts today, I killed it. I may have not found a setup, but I saw what happened today. I journaled about it. I wrote it down. I'm more prepared for tomorrow. I'm more prepared for the future. I'm working to a better version of myself. You know what? I'm going to sit down and watch TV for half an hour now and let my brain detach, because it was so focused and giving so much energy to the task that I was doing that my brain needs a break from whatever it was doing. And that's perfectly fine. But if you're not doing anything, you're not giving it 150%, there's no reason you should be playing video games. There's no reason you should be watching TV. There's no reason that you should be wasting time doing anything else, because you've already wasted the time that you should have been giving 150%, right? So I hope that this inspires you to give your complete and utter attention, focus, and energy to whatever it is that you're doing in the present moment, whether it's right now, today, tomorrow, the next day, next year, whatever the case is. And if you feel like you have a friend that needs to watch this, or that a family member that maybe just does things to do them and say that they did them instead of actually doing it because they want to and giving it 150%, share this with them, send it over to them, and tell them to give it a watch. On that note, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 6 of the Success Series. I will see you guys for another episode real soon. Peace out.